What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Big Vern coming to you live from the App Stupid Studios. App like you got some sense. Smash the like and subscribe button. You can also hit us up on our socials. Drop the social. And if you're digging the revolution, the best organic sports program show on the planet, hit us up in the Cash App. $Vern Dollars. Again, that's $Vern Dollars. DOLLAZ. Got a busy sports day for us today. A couple of stories on tap. Want to talk about Kevin Durant, and was this Kevin Durant's last chance to win an NBA title and go down as one of those all-time greats? He's already going to be a Hall of Famer, but was this really the last chance of a KD championship? Then we want to talk about the false outrage that's going on with the Atlanta Falcons and why they picked Michael Penix Jr. I don't know what that outrage was about. Also, we're going to talk about the NCAA House versus NCAA. What does that mean? What does that mean for the likeness, image, and college kid compensation? And then we want to talk about five-star kids, because the NFL draft just came. And guys who are five-star kids who come out of high school, they're these highly touted prospects. They get to college. It doesn't really materialize and fizzles out. What happens when they don't make it? What happens when they go in the undrafted portion? Because just like they have a 3 or 4 day NFL draft, they have undrafted free agents. So just because you didn't hear your name called draft night, that means that you have a shot at getting undrafted. And if you are undrafted, you're fighting for a job year in, year out. You're not one of those difference makers or playmakers on a team. You're going to have to fight your way through practice squads. You're going to have to fight your way in reserves. And sometimes does it even materialize? So what happens when that dream goes away? Those stories and many more. And it's pretty sad, but it's good. It's an upbeat day. It's an upbeat day. This is Big Vern at App Stupid. Drop the spot. Yes, Ford, built Ford tough. Test drive the new 2024 Ford F-150 XL model, starting at $36,770. Seats up to 6 people, tows 13 tons. Some models lease, they start as low as $494 a month, and now that's with approved credit. Try the XTX, the XLT, the Trimmer, the Lariat, or the granddaddy of them all, the King Ranch. Ford, built Ford tough. Okay. Contact your people at your local Ford dealership for more details and more vehicles. All right. So, gonna start with the association. Was this Kevin Durant's last chance to win an NBA title? Now, the Suns, they led by 3 offensive juggernauts to Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal. Kevin Durant and not Bradley Beal, but Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Those 2 guys are Olympians coming up in Paris. Now, when they failed to win a single game in the opening round of the playoffs, losing 4 straight to the Minnesota Timberwolves as a team ranked 16th offensively. Now, some of this is, I want to say, it's kind of like you got to take it with a grain of salt from the standpoint that most of these teams, when you have some of these writers in Yahoo, they will sit up here and they'll go, oh, they're the 16th ranked team. Look, all of that goes out the window. That was over 82 games. That was over an 82 game season. When we get to the playoffs, it's 0-0. So the number 16 offense, those guys are dogs. We got older legs. We got veterans in the backcourt. And then these dudes are really up and down. They're younger. They're more athletic. Their veterans they know cagey moves. And that's what you got to take into account, because a veteran point guard will have more moves than a veteran center. A veteran center is just at some point just relegated to just being a rim protector. And in this current day and age in the NBA, they don't even have those positions available. So that's what I want to say, just with a grain of salt, because this is coming out of Yahoo, by the way. But then it's part of my little asking questions as well. Doesn't help matters that the organization prioritized top shelf talent, which with today's CBA comes at a price that's dealt. The Suns flat out couldn't rely on the minimum salary veterans, and that led without ultimately was embarrassing collective performance in the first round. Now, the 35-year-old put up 27.1 points per game while connecting on 53% of the field and 41.3 from three-point land while appearing in 75 games. That's huge for Kevin Durant, in my opinion, because Kevin Durant, 82 games is a full NBA season, and he's playing more games than most of these young guys. I mean, here it is. We talked about it on the program. Wembanyama didn't play 75 games, and he's 19. Adding to the fact, Durant has displayed modest levels of availability since his Achilles tear in 2019. So he's playing more games this year than he did in 2019. And again, like I said, that's huge for Kevin Durant. However efficient and effective Durant proved to be, however, was undermined by the fact that Booker and Beal never quite seemed to find common ground on ball handling and play initiation responsibilities. This only worsened against the T-Wolves as Booker, outside of a 49-point game 4, was reluctant to be aggressive and spend considerable amounts of time observing instead of attacking. Now, again, the writer is looking for the blame game. I'm not looking for the blame game because I seen the writing on the wall. You took Yusuf Nurkic off of the Trailblazers' hands. I know this because I'm a huge Trailblazer fan. Die hard. Been there since 1988. Some people listening to me, I've been a Trailblazer fan longer than you've been alive. It has nothing to do with winning. I've always been about the Rose City and Rip City all day. So Nurkic was a center who had foot problems and who was repeatedly injured. And when he was available, the kind of style of play that Portland played, it allowed him to get those rebounds. It allowed him to be kind of a stat stuffer, even in a diminished capacity for him. However, that's who you got. And you got a pretty young guy, a pretty nice young guy in Eubanks, who I felt like Portland should have never let go. And he was able to not only run the floor, give you quality minutes, but he also gave you some defense and some hustle. So it wasn't like you all cashed in and didn't get anything out of the deal. But I can tell you that Nurkic thing was damaged goods. And then you had Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon is a monster. Because for him to still be playing at that high level, and he's been in the league for so long, yeah, that's insane. Team of 2021 and 22 lost a heartbreaking Game 7 in the Western Conference semifinals, traded the farm for Durant, and lost a 6-game second-round set in 2023. So they dealt the mortgage for Bradley Beal and were swept from the first round. It has to be frustrating to swap every available rising talent and draft assets for a $300 million payroll, only to get demonstratively worse. And they are right. I did not know how old and slow Bradley Beal looked until I was watching the Phoenix games. And the West Coast basketball, if you are a fan of the NBA, like I am, a lifer, the West Coast has always been about finesse. The West Coast NBA game has always been about finesse, up and down. You know, defense kind of lacks. But even with that being said, Bradley Beal just looked like he couldn't beat anybody off the dribble. The shots were looking slow when he would get in there with that jab step. where he would penetrate and then kind of create some space and then try to get this shot off. It looked painful to watch. Obviously, it looked painful to watch for me. I always felt like, wow, they did that for this. And when you start spending that kind of money, again, with these dudes, now you can't really go get nobody. I mean, as far as talent that's marginal, I mean, Booker, I will say this. The Phoenix Suns have done a horrible job making Booker the man. They've done a horrible job making Booker the man because you keep bringing in guys over the top of him to see who's going to actually work out with him. A lot of franchises have done this. Boston does this to Jason Tatum. I tell people all the time, Jason Tatum is Boston. He's the best player on Boston's team. He's the most consistent person on Boston's team. I don't care about Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is pretty much a role player. He's just an in-shape street fighter. Kristaps Porzingis he's just hype. I'm not sitting there saying that he can't play because he's been in the NBA, but he's also been in the development system longer than he's been a pro. And it's never seemed to work out anywhere he's went because when he was in New York, they started clamoring to get rid of Carmelo Anthony, the corrupt media. However, when New York got tired of Porzingis and him being injured, they shipped him off to Dallas. Dallas shipped him out. I mean, he went to Washington. Washington shipped him out. Now he's in Boston. So he can't be all of this and be a journeyman at the same time. You got to make your mind up. Pick your poison. Paying Durant, Beal, and Booker a combined $150 million means the Suns have little resources to improve the roster beyond minimum contracts. Now, of course, they could trade one of their 3 stars, but nobody is lining up for the 3 years left on Bradley Beal's deal. And they're absolutely right. I don't want to see him in any uniform come this fall. No way, Jose. Count me out. There's nothing that he can do. He's not a starter. That's the thing that I think he has to actually accept. He can be a role player. He can come off the bench and be a good 6-man, but him actually still being in the starting lineup, no, he's not that anymore. He's not that guy. He's not that guy. I'm sorry. And the fact that he's got 3 years left on that deal. I mean, of any superstar that was out there on the East Coast, why him? Because he didn't show you anything while he was in DC. Only that he was in DC for as long as he was, and he had good numbers. And I think this is one of those situations where if you study a stat sheet instead of actually watching a game, you will fool yourself into thinking these people are more than what they are. And in Bill's case, that's pretty much it. And then trading either Durant or Booker is asking for a downgrade. No. I think when you ask for a trade, if I'm Kevin Durant, I don't have too many years left in me. Because I want to go and win a championship. I want to go and be competitive. So why can't I leave? Why can't I go for greener pastures and get in with a team that I can make some inroads with? I just don't know what the thinking is. And if I'm 35 years old like Kevin Durant, and this may be my last shot, and I might want to go out with a big hurrah, Phoenix is not where I want to end my career because we're still 2 years away from figuring it out. We don't have any money to get anybody. So what you saw this year is only going to be a replication of next year. I don't want this for my career. And Kevin Durant's got to be real. Kevin Durant's got to be real about that. Call anyone this summer to see if you have any saviors or one arrives. Otherwise, pray for good health and possibility that one more summer together improves the team chemistry. Really, do you need a second bite at a crap sandwich? Ask yourself that, really. Who wants a second bite of a shit sandwich? I don't think the good people of Phoenix deserve that. I don't think the fans deserve to sit here and watch an organization try and figure it out or try and throw money at a problem, money that they don't have. And so it didn't work out. Now I understand you want to trade Bradley Beal, but after the league wide saw what this dude was doing this year, you can't get nobody to take that. This ain't the NFL. You can't get over on John Elway. That dude is something else. But yeah, that's why I asked the question, was this Kevin Durant's last chance at a championship? So I don't know. Let me know what you think. Good people of Phoenix, is this possible that Kevin Durant could get back out here and maybe you all could get back to where Monty Williams had you at? Or is this just downhill from here? Got a lot more show to go. This is Big Vern at App Stupid.